Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm your host, Ricky Green, and you're watching the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. In today's episode of Tide Talk, we want to take a few minutes of your time and talk just a little bit about National Signing Day that is quickly approaching, what Alabama fans should expect as the Crimson Tide finish out the 2021 recruiting class. And we're going to talk a few minutes also about the rankings update that was made today by the guys over at Rivals.com. Alabama had several of their commits from the 2021 class that received a definite boost in their rankings. We'll talk a little bit about those guys as well. You're not going to want to miss a single minute of today's episode of Tide Talk, and we'll get started right now. I want to start off this evening's episode of Tide Talk with a question for our viewers. Get in the comment section right now and let me know what you think. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Will Alabama finish with the #1 recruiting class for 2021 come this upcoming National Signing Day? Y for yes, N for no, and I will pin that down in the comments section. All right, so a couple of different things that we want to talk about this evening as it pertains to the quickly approaching National Signing Day. If you follow Alabama recruiting, football recruiting closely, then you already know that the Crimson Tide's 2021 class is nearly full. I think we had 24 prospects that signed on early signing day, and that pretty much wraps things up really for the 21 class for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But we do have room for a couple of more prospects if they want to commit to Alabama. Really only two guys that we're watching at this point as far as National Signing Day is concerned. One, Terrion Arnold. You've heard me talk about the young man before. One of the most athletic defensive back prospects in the entire country, in my opinion. And then JT Tuimoloau is the #1 ranked player in the nation. And he kind of has a Ohio State University, Alabama battle going on right now for his commitment. But at this point in time, I believe that he will wind up a Buckeye. And that really just leaves Alabama to really focus on their top remaining target for this 2021 class, Terrion Arnold. And I like where Alabama stands with Terrion as it is right now. Look, Terrion is basically kind of a three-way battle, really, for his signature, talking about between the Alabama Crimson Tide, the Georgia Bulldogs, and the Florida Gators. Can't count out Dan Mullen in Florida really just yet. Never want to count out Kirby and the Bulldogs because whether you like Kirby Smart or not, the guy can recruit. We all know that. But like I said just a moment ago, I really like where Alabama is right now for Terrion Arnold. We learned several weeks back, and we discussed this in one of our previous episodes of Tide Talk, that Nick Saban himself had taken over the recruitment of Terrion Arnold. And anytime you see something like that happen, you got to like Alabama's chances. Nick Saban doesn't get personally involved in a recruitment that often. When he does, it's somebody that he really wants to get in crimson and white. And Terrion Arnold is definitely somebody that Nick Saban would love to be able to coach at the next level. Terrion, like I mentioned a little bit ago, is a freak athletically. He can play football, basketball, could play on both sides of the ball in football. Just a gifted, natural athlete that has really worked hard to become a complete defensive back, and somebody that I really hope rolls with the Tide this upcoming signing day. And it's getting close to the time when we will all find out what Terrion ultimately decides to do hopefully he will decide to sign with the University of Alabama, be coached by one of the greatest, scratch that, the greatest college football coach of all time in Nick Saban, and the dynasty will continue to roll right along. All right, so one more situation that we want to talk about here for just a minute. As far as National Signing Day is concerned, Alabama got a commitment recently from Kamar Wheaton, one of the best running backs in the country, and we're going to talk about that situation just a little bit. But before we do that, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I don't know what you're waiting on. We're cranking out the content. We want to be your new home on YouTube for all things Alabama Crimson Tide, and we're working hard to be just that. I certainly would appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button right now and help us reach our goal of having over 6,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. All right, moving right along here. The other situation that everybody needs to be aware of when it comes to Alabama and this upcoming National Signing Day, of course, five-star running back Kamar Wheaton that committed to Alabama won't be able to sign his letter of intent until signing day. So that really means there for a little while, there was an opportunity for Steve Sarkisian at Texas and other schools to continue to recruit this talented running back. And I talked today to one of my good buddies, someone that probably is going to be introduced soon as a member of the Tide Talk team. But he let me know that he felt like the new running back that we hired at Alabama, talking about Coach Gillespie, is absolutely critical when it comes to Kamar Wheaton and holding on to his commitment and ultimately having him sign with the University of Alabama on National Signing Day. And at this point, I fully expect Kamar to honor his commitment and to sign with the Alabama Crimson Tide. So, two situations kind of that Alabama fans are watching for this upcoming National Signing Day, just a few days away now. The Terrion Arnold recruitment will come to a close. Where will he go? Operating on that top three, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, in no particular order there. I like where Alabama stands, and I think we have a really good shot of landing a commitment from one of the most athletic defensive backs in the entire nation. Terrion Arnold is somebody that I definitely hope will roll with the Tide for sure. And then the Kamar Wheaton recruitment will be signed, sealed, and delivered, hopefully, for Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now that we have hired Coach Gillespie as our new running backs coach, I'm told that that was very, very important in the Kamar Wheaton situation and having him ultimately go ahead and sign with Alabama. So good news there. Hopefully we'll get more good news from the Terrion Arnold side of things. And then also tonight, before we start to wrap everything up here, Alabama had some of their 2021 commitments really get big boosts in the rankings over at Rivals.com. And usually when we talk about rankings here on our YouTube channel, we are referring to the 247 Sports Industry Composite ranking system because we believe that that's the most accurate. It takes into account all three of the major services. So that's typically what you'll hear us referring to when we're speaking about recruiting rankings. But being that Rivals updated their rankings and Alabama had a few young men really move up in those rankings, we want to take a few minutes and talk about that here this evening. Some of the biggest names to receive boosts and really be, in my opinion, now ranked where they should have been all along. Quincy Kool-Aid McKinstry got his 5th star and was moved up to the number 27 recruit in the country for 2021, regardless of position by Rivals.com. He's now rated the number 2 prospect at his position as a cornerback in the country, and number 1 in the state of Alabama, regardless of position. So definitely a good day for Kool-Aid and his movement upward in the Rivals.com rankings. Taking a look on down through some of these other prospects here. J.C. Latham, the #1 offensive tackle in the nation now. Tommy Brockemeyer remained in the top 10. They've got him ranked #8 overall, with Latham #2 overall. Dallas Turner kept his 5th star, remained at #18. And Kamar Wheaton, of course, fell a few spots in the overall rankings, but was able to retain his or keep his 5-star status, according to Rivals.com. Keanu Coate, an outside linebacker that Alabama was able to flip from LSU on early signing day, moved up quite a good bit in the rankings. They've got him pegged now at #42 overall. And then Kadarius Callaway looks like he made a good move as well. The big-time, hard-hitting safety out of Philadelphia, Mississippi, moved up to #51 in the nation overall, regardless of position. Now, with this latest update in the Rivals.com recruit rankings, Alabama now has the highest ranked class of all time for Rivals.com. The 2021 recruiting class is the cream of the crop, the greatest of all time. When you're talking about recruiting classes that are ranked and how they're rated by Rivals.com. So big tip of the hat to Nick Saban and his staff at the University of Alabama. Fantastic job putting together a deep and talented class, top to bottom. And some of these guys are poised to make a big impact as freshmen this upcoming season at the University of Alabama. Hey, look, before we really wrap everything up for this evening, I just want to take a minute and thank each and every one of you that have shown us support here on our YouTube channel. Our growth has been phenomenal, and we've got big plans, big things that we're getting ready to roll out for you all here in this new year. 2021 is going to be a big year for the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube and for TideTalkSports.com. There's no doubt about that. We're growing and will continue growing just as surely as the tide will roll. And we wanted to thank you all for showing your support by subscribing, liking, commenting, doing everything that you do that allows us to do what we love to do. Thank you all so very much. I'm Ricky Green for Tide Talk Sports, your host here of Tide Talk on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. We'll see you next time. Roll Tide.